What's up, guys? I'm back. So cousin Jerry, brother Lewis, and cousin Gary pulled out the swap. I'm here the next day, and I'm gonna try to remove as much things as possible from this engine bay. I already started on the harness, just trying to get them peeled back as far as possible, and then I gotta figure out, probably have to roll the car out a little bit and figure out how I can disconnect, where the junction is, so I can disconnect them, pull them out completely. Then I have a bunch of lines to remove between power steering and brake lines. The brake lines look a lot more challenging, but I'm gonna try to pull them out in one assembly. So without further ado, let me put you guys in a better angle and let's get to it. Tool. I'm gonna try, the goal is gonna be to pull all this off in one assembly. So actually the first thing is gonna be unclipping. Unclipping from everywhere, which this is already, the guys definitely started removing this. But if I can pull all this off in one assembly, and just unbolt it. So I'm gonna unbolt this, work my way down. is basically as stripped as it can get until we remove the car from the lift. So on this side, I was able to get everything off over here. And then, so the only thing we have to worry about is once the car's off the lift, the ECU connection is actually on the passenger side floorboard. So then we could pull everything into the chassis. Hopefully, I'm not downplaying it to what it is. Some cars are a lot more difficult. But if we're able to get in there and just pull this side harness all the way out, this side's completely prepped. For the windshield motor, wiper motor, we have to remove the cowl, which I didn't want to get into just because no matter what, we have to work on this section. So I left that until the car's basically ready to be sent off for paint. Then now on that side, we have, this one's a lot more complicated. So I found a junction connector on the driver's side inside the car. However, the issue is since the car's on the lift, I have no room to get in there and disconnect it. So what I did is everything is completely loose, ready to come out. The only thing we got to figure out is over here on this side. It looks like there's a junction. This is where the connectors go through. So as long as that junction that I found over there is for this harness, then we'll be able to unplug it and pull it out. And the goal is going to be to pull it out and in through the engine bay and then just completely remove that harness as 1B, because we don't want to mess with disassembling the fuse box. I also did a little bit of work on the interior. Wasn't much because everything was already loose. So I'm gonna show you guys over here. You could basically get the idea. Since the car's getting completely painted, I believe they're doing the inside of the doors. So I removed the door panel on both sides. Brother Lewis and the crew that was here doing the engine swap, they removed the center console, so they were able to drop the trans. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be working on the trunk, stripping the trunk completely. And once that's done, I'll give you guys an overview. But we're wrapping up. It's a lot more. It's a very, like I can't get the word together, but it's like a little nerve-wracking because we've never done this before. So trying to remember where everything goes. There's a lot of small pieces. So we're trying to be very careful with it. In this case, I put a lot of the bolts back where they go, and I just tried to save all the clips for the harnesses so we can just tack them back in since the bait is getting painted as well. Then the only thing, so basically, once we get the car off the lift, we're also going to try to tackle, since you need room to get into the floorboard, we're going to try to tackle the brake booster and the clutch master at that point, and also remove those in one piece like I did for the ABS. The ABS, I basically, all the lines that were removable, I just took them off and put everything in one unit. So back here, I just took everything apart, and as you can see, so this is actually one of the areas that he wants them to work on, although it looks like all of it is basically surface. There is some corrosion buildup and rust buildup back here. Nothing major, luckily. This car was in Australia, so I guess that saved it for the most part. We're gonna, so what I did is I removed all the interior pieces. They're actually right behind, covering the trunk, all the trunk panels. And I don't know what the goal is for back here, other than cleaning up that surface rust. And I'm pretty sure that that's gonna be as far as they go here. The only thing back here that I think we could clean up a little bit is gonna be the wiring that seems to be for the fuel pump. Other than that, this is pretty clean back here. So everything's removed. I just left a couple clips. I left the jack in here because I don't think that's gonna be in the way of anything, but if it is, it's also 2 seconds to remove. It seems like Cousin Andy is gonna be leaning towards us removing the glass, but for the time being, we're just trying to get it as ready for paint as possible, which at this point, I say with a couple hours of work in the removal of the harness, we should be golden. I think that this is actually where we're gonna wrap it up today. So thank you guys for tuning in. We obviously appreciate it. Please make sure to like, comment,